Family of Light by Barbara Marciniak. Chapter 7, Empire of the Mind. This fleeting moment of time between 1987 and 2037 involves rediscovering ancient hidden ideas and examining what you have built your foundation on, and perhaps reorganizing it. Further consideration of how you have developed as a society and a culture may show that a great dismantling is necessary. We remind you to do the dismantling in your mind, allowing the old structures and belief systems, which are at the core of modern-day political and educational thinking, to dissolve on their own. Without blame or anger, realize that you are in the midst of a perceptual shift. If you proceed in this way, the new energies will harmonize with your biological being. However, if you hold to ideas that are no longer vital and alive, you will find it very challenging to maintain your vitality and, dare we say, your life. Changes of energies have a purpose. As we have said, everything has a frequency. And some frequencies are compatible and some incompatible with your being. Yet, the more you grow in consciousness and maintain the frequency of love, the more you will be able to transmute the incompatible frequencies into harmless energies. As you expand into the being that we are eliciting, you will have more energy, power, and love inside yourself, and the forms of toxicity outside you will no longer have free rein with your field. A higher vibration or frequency is created by the way in which you integrate and establish peace throughout your four bodies: spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. Once this occurs, your frequency of self-assured, self-producing love and peace and centeredness negates any harmful outside frequencies. Life is changing at an accelerating rate, and you are here to become the winds of change, not fight the winds of change. Perhaps you are reflecting on the words and ideas we Pleiadians pull through the dimensions to place on the buffet table for your nourishment. We ask you once again to consider what your life has been teaching you lately. What has your body been saying? What are your mirrors around you telling you? And how have you interacted with it all? And now that you know yourself a little more than you did before, ideally you can step back and, in your knowingness, release all judgments. If you feel that an area of your life needs attention, or if you feel that you have slipped into patterns of experience or behavior you wish to avoid, then be aware of it. It is in these areas you will be tested again and again to see if you can literally change your old behavior responses. Relax. There is no passing or failing these tests. You have done well to move this far on the journey of Earth in these times of momentous change, times which are sought out like hidden treasure by us extra-dimensionals. Explorers and divers on your planet travel the continents and oceans, following old maps and reading old legends, searching for buried treasure and artifacts of value, books of antiquity, or lost cities. Everyone has been in search of something. Your planet Earth is held in similar regard by certain entities, and it is this particular point in time that is a gem, a hidden treasure in the book of existence, and not merely Earth throughout all probable times. Gems of time are sought out because they hold something of unique value. You currently place value on material objects, and this has become such a focus of humankind that you have abdicated the power of rational thinking. Your institutions train you to become producers for a system that cannot even produce enough, a system based on producing more and throwing away more and more into the garbage. As a result of giving your authority to others and believing what you have been told, rather than thinking and feeling for yourselves, you are overexpanding in the physical world, too focused on material comforts, and in the process you are destroying your environment, or so it appears. Rampant, mindless materialism separates you from the library of Earth found in nature, which is your connection to the Great Mother. As you expand your confidence and apply the new ideas springing forth in you, beep. As you expand your spiritual confidence and apply the new ideas springing forth in you, you will have many unique experiences. At first it may appear that you are alone in your expanded perspective, and if that is the case, it is important to feel good about that, because self-realization can only be done by the self in the core of your being. If you are fortunate enough to be connected with other people from the beginning of this process, then perhaps you will go through your isolation period later, but you will need it. However you are experiencing the discovery of who you are, it is important to grow, allowing your geisha fan of consciousness to unfold completely. By now you have probably reflected on yourself, your bloodline, your purpose for being, as well as the reason you continue to journey with us, the Pleiadians. In your inner reflection, we ask you to go further while you listen to our words, to imagine yourselves into the past and into the future, to journey both to the time of Mu and Atlantis and into the age of Aquarius. The infinity sign, the numeral 8 sideways, over your third eye can act as a transport center. So electrify and energize this symbol above your eyes, especially where the lines join at the third eye space between your brows. Drift into this process and seeing the two vistas, the ancient past on one side and the near future on the other. Harmonize them, for both places exist simultaneously now. Remain focused in the now. Notice your body, your breathing, the energy rushing through your physical form as we hold the doorway ajar, a window of time open for you in both locations at once, here and now. Coming from the age of Aquarius, why would you return to this now? And if you are from Mu or Atlantis, why would you choose this point in time to be reborn? Holding these two avenues of time open in your mind and forgetting that you are from Earth, see if you can tune into why entities from other points in time want to enter into this fleeting moment. What would be the spiritual purpose? Breathe deeply in and hold it. Let it out. And consider that the spiritual purpose these two groups of time jumpers have in common is hunting treasure here and now. Little old planet Earth, a treasure? What could that treasure be? This treasure is not so evident. Treasures usually are hidden after all. Perhaps you have traveled through sites of antiquity on your planet, and they appear to exist in your current reality, the year in which you visit them. However, in actuality, all time exists in every moment, in every direction. Even the place you are currently occupying has layers of other worlds and other times, only separated by their frequencies. It is frequency modulation that allows you to enter these worlds and times. Why do you think time jumpers are coming to your world, and what are they looking for? We dare say that they are here to affect your frequencies. Some of them want to raise them, some of them don't. An opportunity exists for all of existence to experience the frequency that you are all producing and the energy that you are. Participating in the unfolding within you of a unique version of reality where the closed fan can completely open in the blink of an eye. The belt and band of existence through which your science notes frequencies is called the electromagnetic spectrum. You exist as a frequency on that band, and, like a radio signal, you can be located. However, your frequency is beginning to expand beyond your customary band, although the dial does not turn too far just yet. As you step forward into the age of Aquarius, you will begin to gain full access to a much expanded spectrum of frequencies, which is your birthright and your destiny, and why it is so exciting for us to watch what you do with this opportunity. We are time jumpers who enter your reality and change time. That is what some time jumpers do. Your world exists like a piece of Swiss cheese with holes permeating the field of existence, and Family of Light is here to mend some of those holes, those tears in the etheric fields where other energies have entered to wreak havoc with you. As entities operating from a third-dimensional perspective, you do not perceive the pollution your own thoughts have created in the etheric realms. For their own reasons, many other forms of intelligence have come here to watch this version of your world movie that will unfold to possibly a very high frequency when you utilize your full brain capacity and access the band of consciousness that is your sovereign divinity. Through the process of rapid and drastically accelerating change, some people will forget why they are here, and they will continue to believe scenarios of lack and limitation and control by fear. This lack of awareness is like a great mountainous blindfold that you must remove. How will you transmit the new energies so other people can feel the potential pathways? Many humans believe they are not capable of hacking their way into the new territory, and that is why Family of Light, time jumpers extraordinaire, creators of change, rearrangers of systems of consciousness, and therefore existence itself, are here. The Family of Light are here to pioneer new pathways of consciousness evolution. Once you discover some of the so-called harbors of consciousness, you must then move inland to the new territory inside your mind. You must become extremely focused on what occurs around you all of the time. Everything is a code, a message, and has many, many meetings and many plans within plans. You are designed to expand into a much higher state of awareness, to move the tuning dial on the electromagnetic radio spectrum of your mind from where you have been located for eons, living in the lower 3 chakra band of frequency. The energies of change and the shifts of consciousness propelled by cosmic forces have come to expand you. And as you expand, you must consider many more possibilities, most of which you cannot even imagine. This new territory will be undecipherable at first because you may journey into this new spectrum of opportunity and apply your old belief systems once you get there. Remember, many of the explorers who left the European continent 500 years ago set out looking for one thing and did not know when they found another. And when they made this discovery, they did not always understand it because they superimposed their old ideas and expectations onto the new world. The indigenous peoples who encountered these waves of explorers were hard-pressed to hold on to their connection to the great Gaian goddess Mother Earth. But they did. You can conceive of this expansion of your people that occurred 500 years ago because you have studied it in school and know that the age of exploration has been extensive on this planet. Now it appears to many people that your world is full, and that every nook, cranny, and crevice has been explored. Do not be fooled by this notion. The world is still a place of mystery, holding a multitude of territories that have never been explored. You are like the drop of water that considers itself whole, yet is part of the great ocean. You have to expand to understand that you are connected to something truly massive. God-sciousness. Earth's mysteries are pulsating and ready to unfold now, to share with you her own book of knowledge that holds many secrets. The core ideas you have studied in school about the age of the Earth and the development of civilization, the core ideas that you have studied in school about the age of Earth and the development of civilization will be completely discredited in the next coming years, because a rapid acceleration of learning is occurring and inexplainable things are being found. Some of you may say, well, I've already thrown out my history books and I don't pay attention to that anymore. We are speaking of a global expansion of consciousness and realization resulting from a few pioneers willing to reinterpret and make new roads of possibility into the realm of consciousness. Your co-humans will seek out new roads because the ideas you pursue are fresh and vital and alive. Ideally, as the consciousness of Earth unfolds, you will interpret your role as that of extremely precious beings, every human. As you establish a newer, higher balance within your own being, consider that every human is coded to change. Those willing to be the pioneers will set the paths of frequency and make the highways and byways. Ideally, you will not all cluster together, yet will still realize that you are all part of one gigantic potential, where you are all significant, where your value of each individual is priceless, and most of all, where you understand what this value actually means. The treasure is your ability to manifest yourselves as frequency entities, to span a much higher band of the electromagnetic spectrum, to live in it and to dance it, as time jumpers eventually, understanding that you can change the frequency you hold in your being, and that by changing it, you can access other worlds. We remind you that it is essential for you to build strength and love. Beep. We remind you that it is essential for you to build a strong physical body filled with love for the you who has an address and a name, the you who came through the birth canal of a human mother. This is the you to whom we appeal, the one who is completely and totally ensconced, addressed, and located in 3D and beyond. Whatever you are doing, you are part of an enormous treasure, And if you are drawn to our words and follow this journey, then rest assured that whatever you are dealing with in your 3D life is helping you to unfold to that place of expansion where you will understand the laws of frequency and vibration. Perhaps the plants will help teach you, or the animals, or maybe you will become psychic with your family, friends, or co-workers. We promise you, you will begin to know things at a much deeper level. Your ancestors are calling to you, and the possibilities that may have seemed vague and distant will eventually become very real. Sometimes you get stuck by over-focusing on the how something will happen, rather than putting your attention on what you want to occur. It is important for you to emphasize what you want. I want to be healthy. I want to be creative. I want to meet more people and have more meaningful work. I want more abundance. I want to travel and explore the opportunities that exist in the world. I want love. I want new ideas. These statements set the direction for your arrows of intent, allowing the unfolding of multidimensional consciousness to be attracted to you according to the vibration in your field. It is essential for you to grasp that you are multidimensional entities, and you will not travel the electromagnetic spectrum as your 3D earthling body, or not in the way you currently perceive yourselves anyways. Beep! Or not in the way you currently perceive yourselves anyway. Remember those explorers who went from a flat Earth to a round world view. They imposed their own paradigm on what they saw rather than allowing the indigenous people to teach them another worldview. Your ancestors did not always have a language for their multidimensional travels. There are no billboards and road signs, no stoplights, and no rules of traffic or travel. This is unlicensed area, and no one is regulating or testing you to be allowed to travel there. This is uncharted in your mind. And yet your ancestors had to build wooden sailing ships to traverse the physical oceans to discover the new world they were seeking, whereas you are now building ships in your mind. Or perhaps ships are appearing in your skies, and in the minds of others from the age of Atlantis, perhaps. What are these time jumpers looking for? We dare say they are looking for you and what you can produce. You are fascinating creatures, there is no doubt about it. You have a tendency to maintain and stick to what you find. Most of you are very slow to change, and once you do change, you hold on to those new changes like a crab clasping with its claws. You hold on so tight. It appears that if you can be stimulated to shift into a frequency that will change the way you experience the world, you will learn to maintain this frequency. This you can do. You must. The challenge is in dismantling the old frequencies. Yet many of the cosmic weather changes coming your way are designed to assist you in this process. If the headline on the news said, "Comet here to shift consciousness," that statement in itself would shift consciousness. You are so programmable that whatever you see in print or on the TV, you believe. For this is part of your nature to believe, which is why we appeal to you to have more discernment and create your fate. As your multidimensional self unfolds, you will be aware of many timelines and many potentials. You will contact the Egyptian Ka energy, or what we could call the fiduciary. The fiduciary will act in the capacity of a manager, as a multidimensional intelligence, a liaison who conducts the flow of knowledge and energy into your being, watching so that your circuits do not get jammed, so you can span the electromagnetic spectrum and keep your experiences in order. This fiduciary or administrator or liaison can be known as your higher self, or perhaps a guardian angel. And this entity will facilitate your process of consciousness evolution. You are listening to this voice right now. This intelligence has many names and takes on many shapes and is part of your energetic reality. Once you shift your frequency and build your vibration outside and inside of yourself, you will begin to connect with these other forms of intelligence that are also you. The fiduciary exists as a wayshower, an internal travel guide between sites of being and sites of existence. Most of you have traveled to physical parks, sacred sites, or recreational areas, and you often find a ranger or a guide, somebody pointing out the highlights and happenings of the area you are visiting. Well, imagine that there is an entity already inside you, an energy, a vast, unified, collective voice that exists for each one of you as a focal point from where your psychological and emotional expansion is managed, so that you are not left fluttering in the winds of a hurricane, tossed around in the waters and tumbled upside down. You are safe, you are loved, you are connected. The fiduciary, in actuality, can assist you in holding and moving your opening geisha fan of consciousness, showing you which direction to turn, and modulating the frequencies that contain events or vibrations or people within a certain period or experience or time. Your personal name is part of your frequency. So can be your nickname and your birthday on various calendars. Identifying yourself as humans create a frequency. Even your physical address, your social security number, and everything used to relate to the outer world are a part of your frequency, as well as whatever you say and think about yourself, and that's a lot. Some of you have become over-focused, repeating certain frequencies within your field by identifying again and again with the same old life experiences. And as a result, your fields of energy have become quite dull and repetitive and devitalized. If you do not fill your energetic field with new experiences, new ideas, and new versions of yourself, your field becomes dim and worn, bored with the same old story. Once you have explored the depth of healing inside yourself and examined what you need to heal, move on. Create new stories. And if you feel you must tell the old ones, tell them a bit differently each time. Change your perspective on what you think happened. Most of you have repeated the same old stories about yourself over and over again. But be aware that you are missing an opportunity to gather another perspective from those potential gems of experience. All of your memories, all of your traumas, all of your joys, all of your ecstasies, all of your tragedies, all of your crises, all of your triumphs. When you speak of your experiences, intend to gain a new perspective on them by sharing them. Intend to hold a more expanded view of your life and to see what the story can become. If you would each approach your lives in this manner, then when Earth relinquishes her hidden secrets, you will learn a different story about yourself once again. The time jumpers in general are not here for gold and artifacts, although a few want to discover hidden texts and codices. Some wish to hide gems, and some wish to change others that are here. Many are here to experience or affect your frequency, to modulate it in support of your expansion, while others seek to create chaos and confusion. The Earth knows these designs and is timed to perfection for her own unfolding. No matter how much the weather control or destruction of the environment you wreak upon this great sphere of living consciousness, Goddess Gaia will still relinquish to you a greater story about yourselves. Places where you originally thought civilization had sprung forth will be reconsidered. We mentioned that the area known as the Fertile Crescent was attractive to the gods because there was plenty of water, the topography kept people separated, and it was easy to map. However, there were other great waterways on your planet, and civilizations always flourish around great waterways and rivers. As we look through the pages of timelines and see the probabilities that have unfolded, those of you who seek to understand your ancestors and the true meaning of living have already created a powerful force. Goddess Gaia feels this energy and will soon relinquish antiquities and discoveries in the North American continent and the Central American continent and the South American continent along certain riverways that will shock the world. Heavy rains and flooding will wear away existing structures to reveal hidden secrets and show that the season of change is upon you once again. In your day-to-day life, use common sense and respect, because the years ahead will host a great play of nature where she will vie for your attention, just as the cable television stations and the internet vie for your subscriptions. So too will Mother Nature. She will want you to sign up and subscribe to her channel and pay attention daily just by walking outside, sitting down, closing your eyes, and feeling. So if she howls or rages outside your door, pay attention, for she is calling to say, "I have a message for you. Change is here." And the change is not necessarily a change of neighborhood or a job or your marriage or death appearing on your doorstep, but it might be. Mother Nature's change is based on a frequency change within her and within you, your habits, your actions, and the way you participate in life. The fiduciary will hook you up, becoming your own version of the internet, and it is connected to Mother Nature's channel. And her distribution of intelligent entities will be administered for you, and everything will make perfect sense. It is now possible for many of you to have this energetic link-up by simply building trust inside yourselves and unconditional trust of Goddess Gaia. You must build faith in the administrator, the fiduciary, for without that faith you cannot have the service. As you perceive more, it is important to understand that, although entities can appear in your field as solid beings, they may simply be riding the wave of frequency, matching frequency to frequency, appearing as real when they are actually merely holograms. You too will eventually be able to travel to places that appear real, yet your journey on the electromagnetic spectrum, facilitated by your fiduciary, may actually be a holographic experience. You must explore the idea of holograms. What can be made? What can be developed? As with human cloning, holograms are nothing new. Everything your culture claims to discover is a repetition of what your ancestors throughout time already had possession of. However, an artistry will spring forth, and you will wonder who planted the seeds and where this garden of magnificence could have come from. This is a probability awaiting you. Look for that vibration and decide if you want to be in a renaissance of consciousness where you unfold and tap into the abilities that your ancestors held. And when you agree to participate, Goddess Gaia will reveal her layers of timelines to you. As we said earlier, where you sit right now, many worlds exist, coupled and piled one upon the other, yet each isolated and separate, full in its own integrity, unique and safe. How can so many dimensions of time share one space? How can so many lives and so many forms of intelligence all share one body and one mind? You may think of it like the internet, with every single address all at once, each with a different show. That the technology you are developing at such a rapid rate and the secret technology hidden from you are merely reflections of your own internal abilities. Remember as you move through the geisha fan of time that everything can begin to splinter and fracture or fold up and fold up, resulting in too many abstract pieces or too much uniformity, like the frayed ends of a fabric or a stuck brick. For this reason, it is essential that you keep yourselves woven together. We have said often enough that you are here to learn to live, and that living will become a whole new experience. There is no reason to be frightened of the coming changes, although fear, fright, and hell on earth will be expounded and sold in greater measure than ever before. This 50-year period from 1987 to 2037 is a test of how far you can go into forgetting, and in the same lifetime, bridging and reclaiming full memory. That may appear to you like family of dark forgetting and family of light remembering. However, your global management team, considered by most to be family of Darktilians, and the secret rulers of your planet seem to remember so much more than the average member of the family of light. These Darktilians know all about multidimensionality, and that is the difference between you and them. They deal with the invisible realms because they have kept the secret knowledge for themselves. Your gods have disappeared in the Piscean age, and it is only the family of light who has forgotten and replaced them all with one angry old man. So now you must remember what the family of dark has known all along, and come into balance with this knowledge, seeing the world you share with one another. You will be challenged to redefine what you consider light and dark, good and bad. On your own, you may be baffled by this task, so keep your eyes open and keep your heart open, and see the connections made by and pointed out by your fiduciary. Listen very carefully to the voice of spirit, the Ka, that vague, ephemeral quality the Egyptians so valued, the still, quiet voice within. The voice of the fiduciary has its existence in many aspects of the electromagnetic spectrum, leading to many timelines and probable worlds. This is an aspect of multidimensional existence that you are just beginning to access and acknowledge. Picture your own inner administrator and imagine that a vast order of knowledge is being settled upon you now. We Pleiadians can assist in this energy transfer because it is a frequency we broadcast. giving you the opportunity to vibrate with and hold a higher level for yourselves. And it is your will and intent that will switch it on like a light. Learn to listen to your higher self and feel the organization of intelligence that seeks you out, that calls you to know so much more, and leads you to explore 3D living in such a way that the 5D magic unfolds before your eyes. It has always been here. The discovery of the clues to living and the Earth's true significance is not merely a journey for a few or special people. In this time, it is the task for all humanity to awaken to their sovereign divinity. As you contemplate your life and feel a change occurring inside, what frequency will you create for the Earth? What civilizations will you leave for your descendants to record? What legends and myths and feats of renown will they write about you? Remember, you have already been written about, backward and forward in time, and at this time you come back to this now to gather more experience and to change your potential future timelines. Our words may have you wondering about the continuity of time. If time can be entered at any moment from so many different directions, how stable is it? Time only appears to you to be quite consistent and reliable. You just have to look in your history books to confirm it. Yet, as you begin to unfold your fan, you will see that not only can you expand your consciousness into time, but all characters in time who can find the right frequency and who desire to be pioneers and treasure hunters can seek out the frequency band of Earth during this 50-year period. And what is your individual job in all of this maneuvering? To let everyone jump in? To forget yourselves? Or are you a treasure? Something truly profound springs from this nanosecond of existence that is currently just out of reach, yet on the cusp of revolutionizing human existence. Become aware of yourself as a supremely valuable being, as everyone else is too. Knowing that your every thought seeds the future. As family of light, we look into the book of Earth and remind you that the frequency you are looking to build is one of unconditional love, unconditional trust, and unconditional forgiveness. Your ancestors did not always love the beings they met when their multidimensional selves unfolded, and they were often at war with them. The gods came and filled the heavens with darkness and smoke and fire. They also came and filled the heavens with song and light and love. Entities are very attracted to you by your frequencies. Frequencies seek similar frequencies. As family of light, you are here to create a frequency of healing and balance around the whole Earth. You are here to take the highest opportunity possible, and you are here to take on the most difficult tasks. and raise the frequency from one of despair and fear and lack to one of great ecstasy and love and pride. Once this occurs and you have established Earth in this new vibration, you'll experience 1,000 years of peace, of which your stories and legends speak. You may think someone else is going to save you and create this peace, a Messiah, or ancestors from the heavens, or aliens, fixing your problems and giving you solutions to all of your poisons and pollutions. In truth, this second coming that you have been awaiting is the coming of the consciousness evolution. Again and again throughout the ages, a quickening occurs that offers the possibility to hold knowledge and to be responsible, to be a creator. There are many beings in the heavens who applaud you, and we see 8 billion new gods potentially arising on the earth. What energy, what vitality! 8 billion new gods! Who will manage them? Will they weave themselves together, or will they become a frayed fabric, a tangled mess, destroying themselves, or collapsing into a brick? We share these metaphors and ideas with you as tales and imaginings, as stories that compel you to reflect upon your own living. Why you live, why everything is so intense, and why every industry and every job is crumbling in some way. The newness that springs forth sometimes outgrows itself by the next afternoon, and brilliant ideas to make billions one day are seen as bankrupt the next. You are experiencing the expansion of human genius. A defined line has always existed between genius and insanity. Please be clear about this. Genius and insanity, light and dark, yin and yang, good and evil are all two sides of the same coin. You may flick from one side to the other to know the fine balance between them, which is actually what you are seeking, the place where you know light and where you know dark, and resist neither and crave neither. For by maintaining balance of these frequencies, you support your connection to the whole with the same energy of Prime Creator. Like a parent, knowing that your children will all grow up just fine. This frequency of real wholeness is a feeling of peace within yourself, a feeling of knowing your ancestors, knowing your past, knowing your present and your future lives and all of the probable lives you could have ever lived. You would recognize all the choices you did not make and all those that were made and that you lived. The marriages, the schools, the jobs, the travelings and moves, every single thing is perfect. Everything in your life is part of your multidimensional inheritance that the energy of the administrator, the Ka, your higher self, can assist you to integrate. This energy is a voice of kindness, a voice that honors you, a part of yourself that assists the you who wants to state what you are, and yet needs support in dealing with your development and growth. The plan for the family of light, and for all those who care to come to planet Earth in this entry into the age of Aquarius, is to have a good time. Sometimes family of light used to play the martyr, as they did at the bridge of the Aryan age and the Piscean age, and all through the Piscean age, where a tremendous number of martyrs appeared. Martyrdom is now over, and a playful respect for being human, with no offense to others, is your ticket to translate your vast, multi-dimensional inheritance. Remember that you may not know at first where some of your abilities and ideas and talents are derived from. Yet truly a renaissance is upon you, and one so profound as to be recorded in the permanent annals of time. You are being watched to see what you will build as frequency modulators and creators of the mind. As you build the spans of your bridge into the age of Aquarius, it is essential that you know who you are and what you want, and that you not be afraid of yourself as you encounter others, family, friends, lovers, and partners, and all of the various beings that occupy other roles in your lives. Once again, we remind you that this process of change is not designed to destabilize humankind. It is designed to rebuild the core of your being holistically, so that you can truly become the magnificent beings your ancestors know you will be. Over the eons, you have been influenced by numerous forms of intelligent life, and they will all return now, each of your influencers, in one way or another, to combine their energies with you once again and to see what you will create. Your influencers have taken human as well as non-human form. Beings of great power that once walked your earth, the conquerors, the kings, the queens, the popes, the presidents, and other people of renown, have incarnated once again to open their bag of magic tricks in order to live and learn a lesson or two. The gods and all creatures from the heavens, taking various shapes and names and guises and disguises, from angel to reptilian, are all here in your world as they were in the world of your ancestors. Remember, the experiences your ancestors had with your multidimensional relatives could not be written in most cases, since often there were no words to describe what was occurring. To depict their experiences, your ancestors did leave signs and symbols, often carved in stone, as important information to leave for you. Symbols help you understand abstract concepts based on direct experience that cannot always be translated into words. As you expand in your ability to produce and experience various frequencies, the simple act of running your hand over any of these ancient symbols, stars, suns, moons, serpents, geometric shapes, squiggly lines and dots, Even just closing your eyes and making those shapes with your fingers could be enough to open the library doors where symbols will become a whole lesson, like an encyclopedia of knowledge based on frequency. When you emit your frequency while looking at or creating these symbols in your mind, it can open an area of knowledge that your ancestors left to prepare you for this current time of opportunity and change. You are unfolding rapidly now like a deck of cards, endlessly fanned and rippled. In every second of your existence, you move quickly towards opening to more energy. Look around and be grateful for who you see. Seek to learn from one another, because it is through your relationships with each other that you qualify for new relationships with multidimensional beings. You must remember that Earth is a treasure, sought out and hunted for on the lines of time, and you have something of immense value to offer. So be proud of who and what you are and what you can do. A priceless quality is unfolding in you, so be alert to who you are and be grateful to be alive. The immensity of this task is almost beyond description. It is as if you, all of you, are journeying down the birth canal, squished and pressured for the last 2,000 years to move from where you are so uncomfortable, yet your will and desire to be alive has pushed you out. The thrust of birth that a child experiences is part of a natural movement into your world. It is essential for you to understand that as you explore your relationship to the natural world you populate and create, you must examine your methods of reproduction. Cloning is not a solution. The act of sexual intercourse imprints the cells, and without it, a certain vitality is lost. You may not discover this loss for many years. You may eat genetically altered plants and animals, and then discover a long time later that the vital substance was missing all along. Those who clone humans, and have for a while, wonder why the clones are never quite up to snuff. It's because they were not created with the act of sex. And while it is true that humans can be born out of a violent sexual act, there is still a vitality, a thrusting, a coming together with a passionate stir of energy that imprints life in a way that must have been chosen by that soul, whether lovingly or violently. Place no judgment on the act. However, when life is created by an electronic probe in a petri dish in a sterile laboratory, that life does not have the same vitality as a life created naturally. Yes, people are having difficulty producing children these days. Sperm counts are down, and women suffer from nerves and anxiety over not living up to the icon of the Barbie doll. A lot of people no longer enjoy the sexual process. In some cases, sex has become merely an act to attempt to create children in order to get on with the business of buying things for them and extending the family line and building bigger houses to hold their new stuff, thus initiating children into a system that continues to destroy and deplete the earth. Far too many humans have forgotten how to live as vital sexual beings. You have forgotten that it is essential to honor your sexuality. We ask those of you who will be creators of life in the coming generations to produce a frequency in your body that will establish a higher vibration of love, one that will open new timelines to new entities who wish to incarnate here. Invite the souls you wish to birth into your field. Guarantee them love, and you will call in the high-frequency keepers of love who have been waiting to be born. Welcome your children and let them know that you are willing to learn from them as well as about the vibration of love and how to produce it in unlimited abundance together. We appeal to you to populate the earth with people who maintain a very high vibration, and to do so means taking care of all children, not just your own DNA. Start to really observe all children you encounter and send them all a frequency that lets them know you are happy they are here. Today's children are all frequency projectors and modulators extraordinaire. And with each new year, children are born gifted with greater ability to hold higher and higher frequencies. These children will not be satisfied with worn-out ways of poisonous toys. So do not harm them by subjecting them to a system of medical care that works on fear rather than healing. Your children often take on the difficulties you have been holding in your own field and failed to clear, especially the problems that you avoid. Pay special attention to what your children are telling you, especially before they can speak. Everything is important. The empire of the mind is vast, calling you from every continent and every direction. All of the gods who left their footprints on earth in all timelines, those whose names are known and those whose names are unknown, are all returning. This is why many of you now feel impulsed to visit new sacred sites. Because the gods held their events and staged their dramas at many of the ancient stone temples and pyramids on your planet. When you visit these sites, you appear to be a third-dimensional human traveler, while your multidimensional selves participate in dramas from another time in the same space. Versions of yourself remember what else you have been, what sandals you wore, what food you ate, what perfumes you smelled, how you styled your hair and the color of your skin as you changed your human costumes again and again, just as the earth changes her seasons. The multidimensional heavenly realms present an opportunity, so do not be afraid of what will appear. The light of comets and celestial bodies and other flying machines and shapes and swirls and spirals and streaks and flashes will punctuate your skies, and you will not always be certain what is transpiring. There are many means and ways in which celestial symbols and signatures can be produced: electronic, holographic, and otherwise. In early 21st century Earth, you have invented devices with which to project images into the skies, joining the time jumpers arriving from Mu and Atlantis and the Age of Aquarius, as well as those who come from other dimensions and other star systems, bringing their own technologies with them. The movie of existence is unfolding, and entities from everywhere are bringing their media equipment to park it here for this 50-year period. And by now you are all beginning to wonder how you will make sense of it all. How much crazier is it gonna get? It will become as crazy as you want. As crazy as you need. You will always have the opportunity to breathe slowly and deeply. To reflect on events, to put a smile on your face and say, "Oh, higher self, guardian angels, great fiduciary, thank you for assisting me, for keeping the threads woven together into a pattern that I can decipher. Thank you for reminding me to be calm. When my ancestors opened to these multidimensional realms and could not translate the experience into words, they brought their meaning into art. Thank you for allowing me to also bring meaning of this great change into my own version of a living art display. An art that allows me to express the feeling through dance and song of my becoming." The making of great beauty is at hand, dear souls. A beauty embracing a rare essence of existence that we don't want any of you to miss. Become the creators of your own divinely sovereign reality. 8 billion gods awake, alive, and buzzing, and let other entities in the multiverse wonder how you did it. As you switch on and take charge of your lives, you will establish a whole new experience of living where, with your courage to be unique and pioneering, you will debunk fear and lack as the illusions that they always were. The Aquarian age is an age where the gods will be seen to be everywhere, in everything, more gods than ever, because everything is God-sciousness.